Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Century Countess, and today I have something special for those who have been wanting, more doll videos, and for secret Goth fashion tips, for those times where you cannot express yourself freely, so you have to do it secretly. I present to you the lovely Miss Daiyu. And today, she is going to show you how to do that in doll form. Okay, we've altered the light a little bit because you can barely see her. But Miss Daiyu's name in English means Black Jade. And for those of you who haven't seen it yet, it's a few years old, but it's called The Fashion Doll. It's a little mini documentary. It is on my channel. It goes into the history of the fashion doll. And it basically the fashion doll was basically a mini mannequin. For example, and this is what Miss Daiyu is going to be today. Well, basically, this is what Miss Daiyu is. So basically, in history, the fashion dolls have been around for ages. In fact, one documentation was... Now, I can't remember if she was from Italy, if she was coming to England, or if she was going to Spain, so I'm just going to say her name was Queen Isabella. May have the wrong queen, so we're just going to say her name was Isabella. And she was from one country, and she was getting married. She was getting ready to get married to a person who lived in France. So Isabella decided that she wanted to show up in style. She wanted to immediately adapt to the French fashion. So she sent for fashion dolls in the latest French fashion. So on the day of her wedding, she was married by proxy. Like I said, I could have the places wrong, so I apologize, historians who watch this. But, and there goes my notification. How lovely. So basically, she asked for the fashion dolls. The fashion dolls arrived. She had an idea of what the French fashion looked like, so she decided she wanted to go ahead, immediately adapt to the French fashion, get used to it. She got married in a dress that was according to the fashion of the place where she was going to be going to within a few years, and she got married by proxy, so she didn't really get to see her husband at the altar. She got married by a substitute. That's basically what married by proxy is, if I understand right. You got legally married, but your husband wasn't at the altar, just a substitute. We had that there. People who had their bachelor night the night before their wedding, literally, they could have their they could still get married, but they throw in a groomsman or something. They don't have that now, but that's basically back what it was in the olden days. It's like if the husband couldn't make it, then you got married by proxy. But anyway, I digress. So basically, so afterwards, that's basically what the French doll is. It's something that represents the latest fashion, and women would look at it and be like, oh, I like that outfit. I would like a version of it in a variety of colors, of course. Let's say they saw a dress and it was brown, but they would love to have it in navy blue. So they'd go to the dressmaker and be like, look, I really like that style on that doll. Can I have it in navy blue? And that's basically what the fashion doll is. So today, the lovely Miss Daiyu is going to basically show you the Goth fashion her way. So what she has on right now, let's just say she's going to a coffee shop. She's there for a book club, but the area is kind of near where religious people are, and they're the sort of people that will basically scrutinize you, yada yada yada. So she's not really wanting to do like her really cool makeup. She doesn't want to do her full-on golf chains or anything, but she still wants to express herself. So she has decided she's going to wear this lovely, elongated, kind of glittery, dark gray turtleneck sweater. She's got like this lovely fur fringe over vest on, some black leggings, and she'd probably pair it with some black boots. And she definitely would be wearing black nails, of course, and she chose this lovely beret with a black flower to go with her pretty bob. So this is basically going to a coffee shop for a book club in a overbearing religious town and still looking good as casual goth undercover, but still expressing that you're goth without anyone knowing. Now, after her book club, she had a fun time. The coffee was good. No one came over and just scrutinized her. No one didn't say anything about her. In fact, there was a couple of nice old ladies that complimented her outfit without knowing that on her regular day, she is trad goth with the sharp, intense white makeup, heavy eyeliner, you name it. She rocks out to hardcore musics, but you would never know that. So let's say after her lovely day at the lovely morning at the book club, she gets a call and she finds out her manager at her workplace is leaving and he's looking for his replacement, and she's one of the people that has been nominated, including the second person. So what do you do to look impressive for this big opportunity and still be goth and still have that vampiric flair? Well, basically, she's about to show you. So one sec when she goes into her, when she needs to change into her next outfit. And here she is. Miss Daiyu is ready for her interview. She's hoping she can get the job position, and as soon as she does, she is definitely going to be altering a few things, and such as making the place a little bit more alternative. But until then, she puts on this lovely 80s retro suit. She dons it on. She did alter it. She did replace the buttons with some flashy blood red buttons. She added like a lovely little red flowery vampiric detail. She has this kind of vintage wide brim hat that you put a little bloody red bow sash on, and she would probably add some red heels or some red and black heels to it. And she's ready for the interview. She's ready to try to fight to get this new position as a manager, and no one suspects that within a few hours she's going to be clubbing on a Friday night in some leather, ripped fishnets, heavy makeup, hair spiked to the sky, and a crazy teased out monstrosity of fabulousness, and rocking it out with some friends at a golf club. No one would know. No one would know. However, before she goes to the golf club, let's say she just got news that her boyfriend wants her to meet the family, and he neglected to let them know that she was alternative 80s punk rock trad goth. So she wants to she realizes this. She forgives him, of course, because now comes the choice. Does she show up full golfed out and then goes to the club, or does she kind of slowly eases them into it? So she decides she's going to basically put on a alternate outfit that's perfect to meet the family, presentable, and then can easily transform into a very fun, slightly gothy club outfit, and all she has to do is just restyle her hair and do her makeup on the ride there. So let's show that outfit next. But before we do that, here is the close-up. And then while the interview is going on, of course, she's going to take the hat off so she looks less intimidating. Very sweet. As you can see, she's very sweet. No one would know that she goes into deathcore makeup and screams like a maniac while she's rocking out to some hard rock stuff. So here she is, about to meet the in-laws for the first time. Very casual looking, light makeup. Definitely still showing hints of her black color, of course, with just a little bit of flair of other colors. And so she just had a great time. The parents liked her. She did let them know that, this was last minute, and she did throw her boyfriend under the bus by admitting that she's actually Goth, but she found it. She realized, she told them, he didn't tell her, so she decided she was going to tell them herself. They're actually really good people. They actually are okay with it, and they said they're more than happy to see her as she normally is, but she just didn't want to, and they understand why she, came as she did. So there was no time for her to fully get ready into the planned outfit that she wanted. So this is her changeable outfit from a quick visit to meet the family for a nice dinner. And then all she does is she just takes the hat off. While the boyfriend's driving, she starts messing up her hair a little bit, and she takes off like this vintage grandma's blazer. She takes that off and she slips back on her lovely little fur bit. She starts putting on her black lipstick and her heavy makeup. For the time, she gets rid of the sweet casual look to heavy kind of black bronzy contour, a little bit of grays, a little bit of blacks, maybe a hint of silver and metallics. And here she is, her emergency golf outfit, very changeable. She's ready to rock out. She may put like some lovely little gauntlets on or some fingerless gloves. Hair would be all messy in her golf makeup, of course. And then she even brought in a cute little choker to add with maybe a nice little chain. If she had a little chain, she'd add a little chain. And she's ready to go clubbing and celebrate the fact that she got the job at the workplace. So now she's going to change it into an alternative, friendly themed place. Yay! So let's say very next day, she had a fun time. She's slightly hungover, and she finds out that it's her grandfather's 89th birthday, and they're going to a fancy restaurant. Her mother informs her, it's a very dressy place, and it's uptown type of scale. So please don't come in looking like you just left an Alice Cooper concert. So she respects that. And so what she does is she still, however, expresses herself, but respecting her mother's wishes and her grandfather's, of course, because, her grandfather is getting in years. He supports it, but it is a nice event, so she does understand. So she takes the vest off, and she's about to slip into her next attire. So here she is. She's about to go to her grandfather's 89th birthday at a high-class restaurant. And the family including Miss Daiyu, knows that her grandfather loves breakfast at Tiffany's. So she thought she'd put on this like little Audrey Hepburn imitation dress, which is also black. Her still kind of gothic-y. She added a little vampire red rose. She put on this hat again because it looks very similar to the hat that Audrey Hepburn wears in Breakfast at Tiffany. So she comes in and she's celebrating with her grandfather. They're all having a good time. She takes the hat off, of course, because it got a little heavy. So, and she dances with him on his 89th birthday because they have a fancy dance floor, and it's a fun evening. And she goes home to relax. So what does she decide she wants to do to cap the evening off? She wants to watch Beetlejuice, so she puts on her iconic jammies that have a little flair of Beetlejuice. So here she is. It doesn't really matter what her jammies look like, but she wanted to wear the Beetlejuice pajama shorts. She just threw on this t-shirt that just happened to have a black and white striped bow to go with it, and she's feeling peckish, so she decides to order pizza. She decides to pig out, enjoy the marathon of Beetlejuice, and she just realized Beetlejuice 2 is available to watch at home, so she decides she's going to basically pop another bag of popcorn, help herself to a couple more slices of pizza, and of course it's double cheese stuffed crushed. So she couldn't help herself, and she ordered a side of hot wings because she's feeling a very little peckish, because the dinner, it was nice, but it was fancy finger food, fancy restaurant that she went to at her grandfather's birthday, so not enough to eat. So here she is, she's ready to watch Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice 2 with pizza, hot wings, and other junk foods, and of course with an ice cold Diet Pepsi. So here it is, and doesn't really matter. Makeup's all washed off. She's just relaxed and chilling. But she realizes she has another occasion that she has to go to, so she gets her outfit ready for that. And we're about to show you that outfit. And here she is, getting ready to basically accept and sign her signature over to become management and owner of the business. So she's dressed up one last time, very casually, very professional, but she still has her Goth aesthetic in some form, with this lovely little scarf piece here, little bit of vampire red here and there. She has on her little black gothic-y beret and her black leggings. She'd also wear it with either black boots or red heels, depending on how she feels. Soon as everything's said and done, she starts changing the rules. Instead of it being like casual and everything, she decides it's time to be alternative. Let people be who they are. Come up with something frazzy that is for everybody, and still professional but expressive. So she goes ahead and she turns the place into an alternative store, free for all, and she's already losing her belt. So yeah, this is her little outfit for the final dealings in becoming manager and business owner. So yes, this is her outfit. She's now an official owner of a shopping company that's about to turn into a Goth chic place where she can dress how she fully pleases, and so can her employees. It's kind of hard to not imagine that a few days ago she was just this casual girl, dressing casually and still expressing her Goth side. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. It's a little bit different, but people have been asking me for more doll videos, so I thought I'd do this little thing for you guys by basically introducing a Goth fashion doll, showing certain style, how to kind of look Goth but be in a professional setting when you're not allowed to wear the heavy makeup and everything. So this is how basically Miss Daiyu does it. This is how she basically does it, maintains her style, but for work appropriate areas to places that may frown upon it, and definitely be very bullying expressive about it. So this is how she still expresses herself, but no one can say shit. No one can say shit. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's like I said, it was a little bit different, a little bit unique. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more. Bye-bye.